Hello, chameleons! I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. I'm missing you guys. This will probably be my last video since we are officially now on school holidays. But we'll try to get together at least once so we can do a Zoom session just so we can pray together and so that you can see your friends' little faces and I can see each of your faces because it does bring me great joy knowing that you guys are doing well. I couldn't leave today out of our storytelling time because this is one of my favorite stories in the Bible, and I couldn't not share it with you guys. So, moms and dads, for those of you who don't know, so this is a Jesus Storybook Bible. It's one of the best children's Bibles that I have ever come across. Every story points to Jesus from the beginning in Genesis all the way through to Revelation. We teach the children and we talk to them about how every story whispers his name. Stories, even in the Old Testament, before Jesus came, every story is about him. And we work through this Bible from Genesis to Revelation, from the beginning of the year, but we take out a few weeks around Easter and we look at the gospel. We look at the good news about who Jesus is. And I had to tell the story because it's one of my favorite ones. So I didn't want to skip over it and then we come back to school and then I haven't shared it with you. So I wanted to take the time to read it with you. As you know, 2 days ago was Good Friday, and there was nothing seemingly good about Good Friday because we know that on Good Friday Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins, and it seemed like nothing good could have come from that. But what we're going to see in the story today, that it actually was good. It was a good story because it led us to today, Easter Sunday. It led us to Jesus being resurrected from the dead, giving us hope that we also can be raised from the dead. So let me read the story and then we'll chat afterwards and I will say my official goodbyes. Okay, the story that we're going to read is called God's Wonderful Surprise. And it comes from Matthew 28, Mark 16, Luke 24, and John 20. Jesus' friends were sad. They would never see their best friend again. How could this happen? Wasn't Jesus the rescuer? The king God had promised? It wasn't supposed to end like this. Yes, but whoever said anything about the end? Just before sunrise on the third day, God sent an earthquake and an angel from heaven. When the guards saw the angel, they fell down with fright. The angel rolled the huge stone away and sat on top of it and waited. At the first glimmer of dawn, Mary Magdalene and other women headed to the tomb to wash Jesus' body. The early morning sun slanted through the ancient olive trees, drops of dew glittering on leaves and grasses, little tears everywhere. The friends walked quietly along the hilly path through the olive groves until they reached the tomb, and immediately noticed something odd. It was wide open. They peered through the opening into the dark tomb. But wait, Jesus' body was gone. And something else. A shining man was there, with clothes made of lightning. Don't be scared, the angel said. But they couldn't help it. They screamed anyway. The angel asked them, "What are you doing here?" This is a tomb, and tombs are for dead people. The women couldn't speak. Jesus isn't dead anymore, he said. He's alive again. And their hearts leapt. And the angel laughed with such gladness that they felt for a moment as if they had woken from a nightmare. The other women rushed home, but Mary stayed behind. How could it be true? Jesus was definitely dead. How could he be alive again? Just then, Mary heard someone else in the garden. Perhaps it's the gardener, she thought. He'll know where Jesus' body is. I don't know where Jesus is, Mary said urgently. I can't find him. Mary. Only one person said her name like that. Mary. She could hear her heart thumping. She turned around. She could just make out a figure. She shaded her eyes to see and thought she was dreaming. But she wasn't dreaming. She was seeing. Jesus? Mary fell to the ground. Sudden tears filled her eyes, and great sobs shook her whole body. And all she wanted in that moment was to cling to Jesus and never let him go. You'll be able to hold on to me later, Mary, Jesus said gently, and always be close to me. But now, go and tell others that I am alive. Mary ran and ran all the way to the city. She had never run so fast or so far in all her life. She felt she could have run forever. She didn't even feel like her feet touched the ground. The sun seemed to be dancing and gleaming and bounding across the sky, racing with her and shining brighter than she could ever remember in the clear, fresh air. And it seemed to her that morning, as she ran, almost as if the whole world had been made anew, almost as if the whole world was singing for joy. The trees, tiny sounds in the grass, the birds, her heart. Was God really making everything sad come untrue? Was he making even death come untrue? She couldn't wait to tell Jesus' friends. They won't believe it, she laughed. And of course, she was right.